What was the biorhythm change? Does it make the trait viable in World vs. World? How does it compare to the other major traits? I'm Leon, and today I will be sharing my thoughts on these questions. Let's start off with what the change is. In the June 24th, 2025 balance patch, the trait was changed from Restorative Strikes. This new trait, Biorhythm, now grants you Vow of the Untamed. This boon lets you use both bonuses from Unleash Pet and Unleash Ranger. Normally, you would only be able to have one bonus or the other, depending on your state. Is this easy to use? I would say no. This requires you to manage your stacks of Biorhythm. You must reach 5 stacks of Biorhythm before changing states. If you do not, you will lose the boon and have to wait for your next 5 stacks of Biorhythm. This also means, at the beginning of fights, you'd rather wait for the boon before engaging. This is about 5 seconds in total. Besides it being really difficult to use, is it still viable? Yes, it is viable to use as a trait. I've had some good fights with Biorhythm. It can be primarily used as a trait to make you slightly tankier. The 15% damage reduction, even when in Ranger form, is very helpful. Also, with your Biorhythm stacks, you get 3 to 15% healing from outgoing damage, which is basically lifesteal. Is it better or worse or about the same as the other major Untamed traits? Let's start off by comparing Let Loose and Biorhythm. First off, Let Loose is a trait that refreshes your ambush skill when swapping weapons. In World vs. World, it makes it so you can use your ambush every 10 seconds instead of every 15. It also makes it so you can use both ambushes of your weapons right off the bat. The damage of these ambushes is about 5,000 without boons. The healing is about 2,000. We can take these numbers and then compare. You're going to have 3 stacks of Biorhythm constantly or close. 9% lifesteal is about 1,800 healing for every 20,000 damage done. This means that Let Loose is better for healing. You're able to heal about 4,000 health between your 2 weapon ambushes. For damage, Biorhythm doesn't do any direct buffs to the damage. We'll instead take the 20% increase due to constantly having it, even while in Pet Unleash. This means 20% of 20,000 damage is 4,000 extra damage. Compare it to the 5,000 per ambush, times 2 or 3 times used, and you've done about 10 to 15,000 damage, being 6 or 11,000 more damage than Biorhythm. Biorhythm does, however, give a nice 15% damage reduction constantly. This is good, but if you need to survive, you'll tend to swap to Pet Unleash and other Untamed builds anyways. On top of being a bit better in damage and healing, Let Loose also makes your rotations and combos more fluid and is easy to use. Compared to Let Loose, Biorhythm is just not worth using unless you're trying to build super tanky. But there is another major. This major is Ferocious Symbiosis. This trait gives you stacks of Ferocious Symbiosis, which gives you 3% extra more damage and 5% movement speed per stack. Stacks are given by dealing damage to enemies. This means that it is easy to keep up and can have permanent max stacks. Unlike Biorhythm, with its clunky management issues and inability to keep max Biorhythm stacks. Now for comparing the stats it gives. They are totally different in what they provide. Biorhythm is based around healing and defense, while Ferocious Symbiosis is based on damage and movement. To start off, we'll do damage. Biorhythm's damage increases only when you're in Pet Unleash, which in most Untamed builds, you're going to be in the Ranger Unleash for most of the time. This makes it so its 20% damage increase can be pretty much negated in most situations. It is, however, more than the 15% that Ferocious Symbiosis can give at max stacks. Ferocious Symbiosis's damage increase can be stacked with the Ranger Unleash form though, so it would be able to hit 35% extra damage easily, unlike Biorhythm, which would stick to 20%. Healing and damage reduction is a bit harder to compare with movement speed, but in most situations movement speed is going to be better. Not many things can provide extra movement speed, while healing and defense can be built around using stats. This means that Biorhythm, compared to the other major traits of Untamed, is not very good and is outclassed easily. This trait is viable though, and is decent when trying to become tanky. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, or at least found it informational. Let me know what you guys think about this trait in the comments below. Will you be using it, or are you going to pass on this trait? I hope to see you all in one of these, and have a great day.